Norman Powell. Riker?
What do you think of him, man? He's in the news.
He's in the news. Played 0 minutes last game against the Milwaukee Bucks, the historic game where DeMar DeRozan dropped 52 points.
Go DeMar!
Yep, but Norman Powell, him not playing kind of got pushed aside.
It has me shook, because I'm not sure what the future of Norm on the Raptors is. You know, what is Dwayne Casey's vision for this Raptors team?
Yeah.
Specifically with Norman Powell. We just
signed him to a long contract.
People love him.
And it's well deserved.
It was.
He was phenomenal for us in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And when he played, he's never gotten consistent minutes.
No.
Right? And this is held true for some reason in his third year after proving himself over and over again. But as soon as he was given the reins, he's just been a bit. He's very, very inconsistent this season.
He's inconsistent, yeah. And it's odd for a player that started the season as a starter to have to now fight for bench minutes. It's kind of a really weird. Well, you don't see it that often, I don't think. Like, perhaps with bench players, maybe there's some more inconsistency in like what the rotation wants to look like. But I mean, with a player that really was probably like our sixth man or our fourth option probably going into the season, to now be our 11th man, 0 minutes against Milwaukee, which he had a good series against last season. Well,
before we debate what the future should be for Norm, we'll provide some context. As we said, Norm Powell got a huge contract this summer to be the starting guy, right? He gets injured. OG Anunoby's been phenomenal all season. Steals the starting lineup position.
Well deserved.
OG fits perfect with our starting lineup.
Yeah.
OG's been great. But then you say, okay, Norm will be great off the bench. Yeah. But our bench unit has been ridiculous this season. Right? And you don't know who we should give minutes to, because CJ is our best shooter. I think we both agree CJ needs even more minutes.
Like I said before, I think that we should have probably 6 players. We should change the game to have 6 players in the starting lineup, because CJ needs to be a starter. There's just no swap for him right now.
Like we can't take minutes away from CJ because he's our best. He's our sniper.
Yep, sniper.
Pew pew. Right? Like, and DeLon Wright, he was given the backup point guard position after he was almost heard in when we traded Corey Joseph, and he's been also great this season.
Yeah, he's got great vision, athleticism. Right? He's good.
He's super consistent.
And Van Fleek has been
and then when
diamond in the rough.
Yeah, Fred turned into our 6th man.
Yeah.
Fred has just been an absolute monster despite his stature.
He's Mr. Swag awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you have our bigs, obviously, that Norm can't play the 4. He's...
No, 3 max.
Yes. Yeah. Siakam and Podol are going to be the bigs. Maybe Bruno will make a run for that spot at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Jokes. But yeah, so that's 5 guys off the bench that are must plays.
Yeah.
And you'd think Norm would be that guy too, but his inconsistencies have kind of pushed him out of that top 10 rotation.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on Norm? What should we do with Norm?
Okay, well let's start with positivity here. Or perhaps the person that has the better outlook on Norman Powell on the Raptors. So you start us off. What do you think should happen?
Well, I think Norm...
Should he play? Easy. Should he get more minutes?
Yes. Okay. We've seen Norm in the playoffs save the Toronto Raptors.
Okay.
Right? When Norm is cooking, when Norm is Norm God, the fans love him, the team loves him, and we just play phenomenal, right? He saved us in the Milwaukee series. Right? Down 2-1. Throw him in the starting lineup. Get that Damari Carroll guy out of there.
Yeah.
Through Norm. He was shooting a ridiculous percentage from 3. I remember his first 3 games of playing in that series. He was shooting about...
Oh, he was lights out.
Yeah, it was lights out. It was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Right? He saved us in that series. Norm did. Take it back to 2016, his rookie year. Right?
Yeah.
Comes in against Indiana. Right? Game 5. Let's see what Norm can do, right? He totally shifts the game. Saves us against Indiana, right? Norm is a spark plug. He can shoot threes. He can drive. He's a bit chaotic at times, but when he's tame and control and confident, the key is confidence, right?
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
Right? And I believe his confidence is shook, and we need to somehow find minutes for him.
Okay, I'm going to jump in now.
Okay.
I'm a proponent for if you're good, you play. If you're not, you don't. Unless you're coaching elementary basketball where, you got to give the kids the minutes, the parents are there, they're watching, they want to see their kids play, fair play rules. This isn't that. Right? This is the National Basketball Association. You play who's good because you want a winning team, all right? I mean, okay, there is a bit of a balance too. I guess you want to appease the fans, but like people need to get on the Van Fleek train soon. Right? Okay. Because he's been so good. But Norm hasn't been good at all. And the thing is, we can't just keep playing him to try to, in hopes that he's going to return to form, right? He's had probably 15 games now where he's averaging less than 400% or 40% from the field, right? Yeah. I mean, that's not really acceptable. His last couple of games, he shot 16%, 17%. Yeah. I mean, if he's just not playing good, then, unfortunately, he shouldn't play. Right? Just like what happened in the Milwaukee game. And it worked out because we tried some weird rotations with having DeLon, Fred, and Lowry out on the court at the same time. And it seemed to work. Right? Yeah. So, if we're experimenting with these lineups and things are happening and Norm is just getting pushed out, then, I guess that's just Darwinism, natural selection, right? He just doesn't have a rotation. Unfortunately, and I'm going to be really savage here right now, but unfortunately, this is a bit of a DeMarre Carroll effect. We give a guy a big contract who has a role, and then he just doesn't perform.
Do not compare Norman Powell to DeMarre Carroll.
And he has a big
Do not compare Norman Powell.
hole of a contract. So
he's not black hole. He's on a phenomenal team-friendly deal. It's only $10 million a year in this new. But
listen, if we don't play him, if we don't play him, we stop playing him on a lull, then he has no market either. So teams are going to want to pick him up. So we're
okay. Norm can't be traded this season, right?
Yep.
But every team in the NBA is looking for athletic wings that can defend and shoot. Right?
Which he can't shoot. So we're taking away that.
Okay. He could shoot.
He used to be able to shoot, not in the last couple of games.
I believe we'll turn that around. Shooter's going to shoot.
But how's he going to get the minutes to turn it around?
Okay. Hear me out.
Okay.
Right? I believe he should be played. Given that confidence back, because a good player will always turn back to form.
Okay.
Right?
Who are you willing to sacrifice?
This is what I'm telling you. Yeah. Okay? Who has more upside on our bench unit than Norman Powell? Who has more?
Who are you willing to sit in order to give Norman Powell more minutes?
Well, we need DeLon.
You're willing to take away DeLon's minutes.
I believe Norman Powell is one of our top guys.
You truly believe that it would be better for the Raptors team right now, who have been thriving over the last couple of games, to take away our best bench players' minutes and give it to Norm, so he could perhaps get better.
Hear me out. Answer this. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
What would you rather have going into the playoffs? A peak Norm or a peak Fred?
Peak Fred. Peak Fred was clutch against Milwaukee. He was second-ranked efficiency player in the league a couple of weeks ago.
Number one, actually.
Number one, yeah. Frank...
Who has more upside just this season? Norman Powell or Fred VanVleet?
Okay.
Who's more?
Fine. Who has more upside? Bruno Caboclo has upside if he was good.
Not really. He hasn't shown anything. Norm is proven.
Okay,
he's a proven player.
It's unfortunate that he's regressed to this point that we even need to be having this debate. However,
do you think Norman Powell's skill just dropped off a map? Do you think Norman Powell? His
confidence
dropped off. No. Hear me. Do you think it's disappeared?
No, it hasn't disappeared.
Do you think it disappeared?
No.
So what is it? It's confidence,
yes.
Right? It's confidence.
Yes.
How do you give a player confidence?
Okay. My argument now is we don't. Let's switch into something new. To give back Norman Powell confidence, we need to take away minutes. So now we run the risk of taking away confidence from DeLon Wright or from Fred VanVleet or from CJ Miles, right? Let's assume CJ Miles is a lock, right?
Yeah.
Because he is our best shooter.
Yeah.
So that means it's these three guys: Fred, DeLon, and Norm, right? Mm-hmm. We can't give them all average minutes, 8 minutes each, because now you're not.
Well, that's what we've been doing,
and not letting any of them get into a rhythm.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
So essentially, one of those three needs to have very limited minutes. Yep. So my argument is that should be Norm.
Norman Powell, I believe, is our best player off the bench.
Okay,
I believe his talent and his ability, what he's shown in the past, right?
Yeah.
People call him Norm God. Right?
Yeah, the fans.
People have been begging for him to start for 2 seasons. And now that he's had a couple bad games, right? Are we just going to throw him aside? Should we have thrown aside Serge Ibaka because he had a few bad weeks at the beginning of the season? He's been great as of late, right? Mm-hmm. People go through slumps. People go through different, have rough stretches during long seasons, right?
Yeah.
But we want the best possible team to go up against the Celtics, go up against LeBron in the final, in the playoffs, not the finals. The Warriors in the finals, right?
Yeah.
And I believe Norm can give us the best shot. He's the best high risk, highest reward for giving minutes to.
See, I don't want high risk. I want consistency, and Fred has demonstrated that. DeLon has demonstrated that.
I agree.
But we both think that
it's tough.
But we both think that we're going to shorten the bench to probably 3 in the playoffs, right? Or in the late playoffs. So we'll probably play an 8-man rotation.
Probably 9 with how good our bench has been. We'll have to choose between Fred and DeLon.
Okay. So you think that we should play neither Fred nor DeLon and play Norm? Because we're playing CJ and we're probably playing Pascal.
Yeah.
And do you think we'll play Pirtle? Maybe.
Oh yeah, we're definitely playing Pirtle.
Okay, so
he's our best backup big.
Okay, so there's one more. Okay, maybe we won't play Siakam.
Maybe Siakam, yeah.
Okay, so
Casey can get creative with the rotations. I'm just saying.
It's so weird.
I'm not the coach of the Raptors.
It's a bad predicament to be in, but I think
it's good problems. It's good problems.
It's not good problems. It's not, because eventually.
Well, it's better than having no players on the bench.
Yes, but it's not as good as having 4 good players on your bench and then looking for a 5th best bench.
Well, with
player.
the trade deadline coming up in February,
we have
do you think
11
we should move
players.
some players? Do you think so?
Yes, we could move. I think we could move DeLon and Bebe. That would be the only 2.
So you're not high on DeLon. You like Fred.
I like DeLon. I really like DeLon. But if you think that Norm is the best player that we could possibly have coming off the bench besides CJ, then we need to keep Norm from your perspective. So the only players I'd be willing to part with.
And we can't trade him.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. So would you like to see a trade happen?
No, not necessarily. It would have to be a really good piece. It would have to be like a Marc Gasol or DeAndre Jordan or whatever.
That's
but
fair. Well,
we would have
obviously.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's such an awkward predicament to be in. But my opinion would be that I like Norman Powell, but you need to play well to play.
Okay,
right?
so
and I don't want to sacrifice other people's minutes to allow him to play well.
Okay, I'll end it here.
Yeah.
When Norman Powell goes on a 10-game streak of 15+ points at the end of January, everyone will be on my side of things.
Okay, no, you know what? I'll end it here with a great stat. This is we're gonna quote famousbirthdays.com. Okay. Norman Powell is the 26th most popular Gemini basketball player. All right, 25 and above. That's it. He's 26.
So you're saying Norman Powell, because he's not a top 25 Gemini basketball player, he can't be in our rotation?
Exactly.
He's out. Okay. Hot takes from Ryker to end it off. Let us know what you guys think about the Norm Powell situation, the bench unit situation, and what the Raptors should do at the trade deadline. Thanks for listening.